Hey Jermaine, ding, round 3, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut sunglass lenses for your Polo 2070, color 5001 and size 54. The color 5001 is let me pull this out, your Polo Ralph Lauren case, your Polo Ralph Lauren cloth. Good catch, good save. This is color 5001, which is the black red. I'm going to pull that little plastic sleeve off that they shipped to me in. It's got the spring hinges, the classic black-red Polo with the red rider. So let's begin. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses. I'm going to put your Italian frame into my Italian Santinelli. It is my LE1000, my $30,000 edger. And the stylus is now tracing the shape of your right lens, and then it's going to move over and trace the shape of your left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Polo frame and you get free, clear, single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses. Of course, you did the 2-pair special where I throw in the sunglass lenses, which cost me about 5 times more. I treat everyone to a pair of clear glasses, which is what you got in your tortoise frame. And now I'm going to cut sunglass lenses where you can pop them in and out. You can put your clear back into the black red. You can put the sunglass lenses into the tortoise and vice versa. So I've done that. I've pulled up the shape of your lens on the computer. Your pupillary distance is 71. Let me type that in there. This is a polycarb lens being cut for a Xyle frame, which is just an old school name for a plastic frame. So these are your lenses. Before I begin, I'm going to take them out of their protective sleeves that they are shipped to me in. This is your right lens, so the first thing I want to do is spin the axis wheel to 80. The lens reads -1 1/4, -50 at 80, so I put the power drum on -1 1/4. I put your lens in, I rotate it until the optical center comes in clearly, the sphere power. Check your cross curve, which is your astigmatism. And now I'm going to put 3 red dots on your lenses, which you may or may not be able to see. You can't, so let me darken this for you real quick. And that is the right, so I'm going to put that there. Let me do the same thing for the left, which reads, spin the axis wheel to 75, and it reads -1 -50 at 75. Turn the power drum to -1. Put your lens in there. Check everything out. We're looking good. Let me darken those red dots that you see there, and that is the left lens. So just like before, I need to stick this block onto the lens. That's what's going to hold it in place while it's cutting. So 3M, the same people who make adhesive pads, make these double-sided adhesive stickers. The black side is the sticky side, so I'm going to stick that onto the block, pull away this tape to make this side sticky. And I'm going to get your lens lined up. I got essentially an optical crosshair. I got a vertical meridian and a horizontal one. That's why I put these 3 red dots on there, so I can get a straight line across your lens. So your lens cannot and will not rotate, so it keeps you from seeing perfectly. So let me do the same thing for the left. Pull that off, get everything lined up. And I believe it's time to start cutting. So I'm going to put your right lens into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know it well enough to call it Chuck. But these calipers are going to come down, and it's going to trace the right side of your frame onto the lens to make sure your lens is large enough to cut out, as we say. Starting with the back surface, and then it's going to trace the front surface of your lens. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It is that lighter color wheel. It acts like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your polycarbonate material until it's the final size, and this wheel in the center is what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I will have to close the door while this begins cutting because it's so loud, but we'll come back and look inside as it's done when it's getting closer to the end of the cutting cycle. But for now, you can watch as your prescription lenses touches down onto the cutting wheel. This process takes about 15 minutes. It's now 7:45 on Friday, June 6th. 80 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina. At least according to my Samsung Gear 2 watch. So your lenses are the lightweight polycarb, which are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to .22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection. These lenses are so strong that your special lady friend could hit you in the head with a frying pan. It would never hurt these lenses. If you don't believe me, try it. You can tell her I said go ahead and hit you as hard as she can. She has my permission. She may not have your permission, but she got mine. I know you're asking, Matt, why don't you got my back? It's because I got your eyes. Someone else needs to get your back. All right, that concludes my bad humor for the show. So you got two pair of these, the classic tortoise, which is color 5003, and then 5001 is the black red. If you notice, your lens is still completely flat at the edges, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out and stand it up on its edge on the counter, it would stand up on its own. Now it's putting the bevel onto the lens, so it'll stay inside the bevel of the frame. And if you notice, there is water running in the background, but polycarbonate, which your lens is made out of, cuts dry where plastic and high index cut wet. Ooh, I love picking this stuff off as it goes around. So in just a moment, some water jets will kick in. Look at that, right on cue. And that's going to wash away any optical debris or optical sawdust that could be on your lenses. Plus that stuff that I just picked off, that's what it's trying to rinse off. Alright, so let's take the lens out of the Charlie. Chuck, one day I'm going to be able to call you Chuck. Okay, so I'm going to dry your lens off so it's not slippery. Just like before, you still have some rough edges there, some burrs left over from the cutting cycle, so I'm going to go over to my handstone, smooth out those rough edges, scrape away the swarf, which is this white powdery substance around the edge of your lens. Once that's all off of your lens and it's on the counter, I wipe it on the floor. Hey, I gotta have fun too. It gives me something to look forward to. Okay, so I'm gonna see if your lens fits. I'm gonna tuck it in at the outside corner. Then use my thumbs. I press down the nose. It snaps in perfectly. So let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. Pop that in and hit left. And as that starts cutting, I'm gonna keep working on your right lens. Because in the last videos I have explained your prescription, which reads -1 1/4, -50 at 80, -1, -50 at 75. You need 5 steps of far-sighted correction and 2 steps of astigmatism correction. Your left eye is a little bit better. You only need 4 steps of correction to see far away and only 2 steps to clear up the astigmatism. So once this begins cutting, I'm going to do a quick inspection of your right lens to make sure this is cut properly. Go, left lens, go! So I'm going to take this block off since this is no longer needed. Pull the sticker off your lens. As you can see that red dot that's still on there, that is your optical center. I'm going to spin the axis wheel back to 80. Put it in just to inspect. Perfect. -1 1/4, -50. We're good there. So your right lens, again, in order to change them out, I held the frame upright to pop the lens in. I'm going to do just the opposite to take it back out. I'm going to turn the frame downward. It's always with your thumb. It's always at the nose. I'm right-handed, so I grab the frame with my left hand. I put my right thumb down at the nose. I grab the other side. I use my other thumb to press, and I push out. Out comes your lens. I'm going to set that down. I'm going to pop out the original demo lens now. Set that on the counter. And this is the same thing. When you want to take your dark lenses out of either pair, to put the lens in, you have the temples pointed downward and the frame up. I like to work on the side closest to me. I'm not trying to reach over the frame to get it inserted, although you'll develop your own technique. I personally like to have the empty side closest to me. I tuck it in at the corner closest to me, then using my thumbs, press down with the nose, it snaps right in. You can take the clear lenses out of your tortoise pair and put them in this pair, or you can move your sun lenses back and forth. But for now, let me go ahead, and again, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can pull down on the bottom of the frame. Some people like to tuck in the nose first, opposite of me, and then push down at the edges. Whatever technique works best for you. That's what it's all about. That's how I do it. I'll get you started, then you run with the idea. So again, I tuck it in at the corner closest to me, then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. You have unbreakable, bulletproof lenses. You will not hurt either pair of lenses by doing this. You will not hurt your frame. The only conceivable way is if it's in the wintertime and you left the frame in the car, it's cold, it's brittle plastic. At least bring the temperature up of the frame to about room temperature before you try and pop them in and out, so the plastic will never break. Of course, you got a year's warranty on the frame and a year's warranty on the lenses should you ever have any problems. So we're in the last 20 seconds of this cutting cycle. Okay. Let me take this out, dry everything off. Back to the handstone real quick. Back to the safety bevel. Back to scraping all that off the edge of your lens. Back to wiping it on the floor. You know my routine. You know the deal. Okay, so let's make sure this fits. I'm going to turn the empty side closest to me. I'm not trying to reach across the frame again. I'm going to tuck your lens in at the outside corner, then using my thumbs, I press down, snaps in perfectly. So let me pop this block off, pull that sticker off, turn the axis wheel back to 75, -1, -50 at 75, put that in, -1, we are good, -50, we're even better. So your pupillary distance is 71. I'm going to hold this up to the light. I'm going to put the 0 next to my thumb on your right lens. I'm going to now hold that up over the left lens. Hopefully with the light in the background you can see 71 millimeters. Hopefully you can see all that. So the last two things I want to do before these are getting ready to get to you is to put them in standard alignment, meaning that when I press on the counter there is no wobble. I flip them over, do the same thing, no wobble. I make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly, and they do. Same amount of tension on the spring hinges. Now I want to clean those red dots off of your lenses, get all my fingerprints off so you can't turn me into the FBI and collect that big reward that's out for me. Reach in my pocket, get my cleaning cloth. Of course, I'm going to give you one. You get the Polo one that comes with it, but I'm also going to give you one of mine as well. Hold it up to light to inspect. There are no blemishes. So that's it. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Jermaine and everyone else, I hope you enjoyed watching the glasses being made and you got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.